that don't agree with what I'm saying. I mean, what do you prefer? People to not talk? People just to keep their opinions to themselves? To not have the liberty and the freedom to voice your opinion? And again, Charlie wasn't out there spewing hatred. Poison. He was stating his opinion. It happened to be conservative. And somebody that doesn't like that opinion came along and shot him. Assassin. All right, let's see. All right. See, you guys hear me loud and clear? Can you guys? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like my voice is coming through. Okay. All right, we'll give it 1 minute for everyone to jump on here.
Okay. All right, we'll get started here. All right, welcome to the live session, September 10th. Yeah, let's get it going. So the market's been kind of choppy, slow, and we've been kind of hanging out in this general area right here, right? So we broke out here, failed, came back inside, broke out again, failed. Okay, then we came back, try to take out again, break out of this high here, and we keep failing. We're holding right here after hours. We're holding there. This is like a very slow, choppy grind up. Very slow, choppy grind up. We're getting a lot of rejection in this general area right here. In this general area right here, I'm getting a lot of rejection here. Rejected here, and then here we closed inside. Okay, then we try to break out today, got rejected again. Okay. Now, what is this telling us? Well, it's telling us that there's quite a few, there's quite a bit of resistance right here, right? We keep on coming back down. Okay. We're not getting that volume that we need to push through this area. Okay, right now we are holding, but this is like one of those instances where you got to be very cautious because like the volume's not there. Okay. And when the volume isn't there on one side, if volume comes in hard on the other side, we can have fast and hard drops. Just like we got right here, fast hard drop, okay, and the slow grind up, okay. If we don't get some volume and get away from this area of 6,540 area, we get away from that area with some volume. Volume could come in on the other side and push us down, right? So I still think that we're kind of chopping around until around that Fed decision. When is it? Next week? Yep, next week's Fed decision. So I think we're going to be chopping around, slightly grinding up, coming back down, then slightly coming back up until about that time next Wednesday. What was it? It's like the 5th and the 16th, right? 15th and the 16th. 15th and the 16th, right? So see my calendar exactly here. That would be 16th and 17th. So Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Okay. So that's we're gonna be kind of in this limbo state until about next week. Okay. Still gonna probably grind up a little, chop around, come back down, grind up, chop around. We might even chop it up. If we could hold where we are now at that 6,540 area. If we could hold above there, we could probably grind up to that 6580. Um, and maybe slight little bit more. But I think next week after that Fed decision, and we do get the cut, and whatever it is, basis point or 2 basis points, the market's letting you take it in because it's already anticipating that. So then it's gonna probably pull back from there, or it might be pulled back right before there. But either way, you guys want to be hedged in this general area. Why? Like I said again, the volume is not there. The volume is just not there. Okay, we're dropping and we're getting bought up, but the volume is so low on these buys. The volume just isn't there for me, right? The volume isn't there. The rejection, it keeps on rejecting. The rejections area, it keeps on. It just doesn't have that strength that I would like to see, right? We consolidated here for a while, came in here, consolidated. Okay, now we're slightly outside of that. I just don't see the strength yet. If I do see the strength, then okay, completely different, right? But you can even tell, like, we're building a squeeze on the TTM, and we're still grinding up, right? Squeezes build typically when you're going sideways. Okay, we're going sideways, but we're slightly going up, and the squeeze is building. It hasn't fired yet. Okay, so it's just high cautious there. It's high cautious. I don't see that follow through that we need in the overall markets here. We keep on getting rejected, at this area, this level. Once we could get away from this level, maybe I feel a little bit better about it. But for the time being, I don't like this this weakness that we would see in the markets. This slight consolidation zones and everything. For instance, we just chopped around yesterday. They popped after hours and then came back and chopped right back down to this general area. And then again, we're kind of moving up a little bit after hours. Then tomorrow we're probably going to come back down again to this area and chop around, right? Our side looks good. Don't get me wrong. Our side looks good. We do got a squeeze on the hourly. We got a little bull flag area there, but we also got a little bear flag here. So which one is it going to do? See, we're probably going to be generally coming around in this area, 655 or 650 after hours, and then probably tomorrow, probably going to pull back some again. This general area right here, it looks like there's a lot of resistance at that 6555 level. So I don't think we pass that after hours. And if we get near that, it's probably going to be a short coming back down here to 6532. Okay, we lose that 6532, we're going to come back down here to 6520. But overall, the market's not giving me that that I really want to be comfortable with, So until that happens, you got to be hedged up. You can play some calls as well, but you got to be hedged up, because if, like I'm saying, if that volume does come in to the opposite side, it could come in hard, just like it did right here. Came in hard. Okay. Back here came in hard. Okay. Once if that volume comes in hard on the downside, it happens really quickly. Right. All right. All right. Let's see here. We'll take that on SPY, and we'll go into take it to SPY. And SPY looks, it gives my case a little bit more here. I'll show you. All right. So SPY here. We're in this box. We got out of the box. Okay. This is that sell zone area, right? Fell back inside, came back in there, rejected again, Okay, slightly got out. We gapped up, right? And now we're making this hanging man here right on that 652.21. Okay, and that's exactly where we closed. 652.21 was that previous high. So that's the breakout point. So we closed right on there. That's never a great sign, right? Whenever you close right on that breakout and we close right on that breakout point, it's not strong. A breakout is supposed to get open over and close over in a nice volume fashion, right? It's supposed to be up and over, nice big candle. Here we gapped over, okay, which already signals weakness right there, right? Whenever you have a gap over a resistance area and then you sell back down to it, it's never good. It's never good. It's never a good. Um, it's never a good. It's never a good indication that the market is strong there, right? Okay, because we're gapping over the resistance, we could have just broke through it, on a regular day, gapped over it, and then sold back to it. So now the market's giving you that indecisionness, right? The indecision of, okay, we're not strong enough to go. We're not strong enough to continue on that gap, right? So it comes back on, fills that gap, okay, comes back up, closes right at that breakout point. So now you have a hanging man, right? So now, tomorrow, what happens, right? We've seen this candle before over here. If we have a down day tomorrow, right? If we gap down tomorrow, okay, that's going to signal that we're going to come right back down to 646. Okay, and then this is going to be a shooting star, right? If we gap down, sell off, then we're going to have a shooting star right there at that breakout point, and we're going to come back into the sell zone, right? We gapped over the sell zone, okay, and we come back and gap down, we come back into sell zone, and then we're going to come to 646. And then from that, we have to hold 645.50. If not, we're going to that 20 estimate, 644. We lose that, we're kind of going down to 640. Okay, lose that, we're going to come down to 635, 634 area. Okay, and that's maybe an area that you want to look at for bounce if it does come down there. But if it doesn't, then this is the area that you want to look at for the buys right there. That 630 area, 627 area. Okay, now tomorrow, if we don't gap down and we hold that 652.21 and we continue on grinding up, we're going to be slowly grinding probably to 656. Okay, but we're seeing how weak this is. I'm not sure if we do that. We could definitely open up higher tomorrow, and then again sell off during the day. And if that happens, we come back down to 652.21, and then we lose that, and then we come back down to 650. Okay, and then that's going to be that area of that sell zone that holds that. It could possibly bounce back, maybe try to build something to get over that 652.21 again. But if not, it's just going to come down here. Okay, so looking at the hourly, the hourly looks like it wants to come up, right? It wants to go. It looks like it wants to go after hours at least. But we don't know what the morning is going to bring, right? We don't know what's going to happen overnight. Okay, we had a nice gap up here, and then we just straight gave it all back, and then last 30 minutes of the day we had a turnaround. Okay, and it closed right at that level of 652.21. So we're gonna have to gap up a little bit in order to hold this uptrend. If we do that, we go back to 653.40 and then slowly grind to 654. And that area right there, 653.90 is a resistance level. Okay, right there, resistance level. Okay, and if we can't pass that up again, we're going to come back down. Okay, but I'm not expecting any huge moves in the next week. I'm thinking slow grind, chop around. Everybody's anticipating the Fed cut, and maybe we do slowly grind up until then, and then the Fed come. It's going to be a sell the news situation, and we drop it back down. Okay, very very possible. Okay, the action that we've seen in the market is very very slow, very slow and choppy. Okay, I would like to see some more volume come in. All right, so we had pretty good volume today, right? We had pretty good volume today. We had above average volume, 111%, but most of that was sell volume, right? All day it was selling off until the last 30 minutes, and then buy volume came in. All right, so I don't trust it yet. Just put it that way. I don't trust it yet. Okay. So we see that this was a previous high right there. We broke out after hours, right? Okay, we came back during regular hours and we came back in here and just closed right at it. Okay, could be good, could be bad. We'll see. Tomorrow, if we're above 652.21, we just gotta maintain. Okay, we got upside risk. Okay, if tomorrow we're below 652.21, then we maintain that it's pretty much downside. Okay, it's downside. It's downside, but I would still be hedged either way in this general area, and then especially going into the Fed meeting, I would definitely be hedged. So next week puts still holding them. I still think that there's a lot of risk on here, especially when we're so weak in this general area, right? We're so weak in this general area. Okay, so I see that the bearish divergence is it's breaking. It's breaking. It broke. Okay, it came back and then it's pushing. So, but the candles that are being formed on the price action, it still worries me. Okay, even though the bearish divergence broke twice, it still worries me. Okay, it still worries me, the price action, until I see some more action, and some more confirmation. I'm staying hedged up on SPY, and then we'll go check out QQQ. And QQQ is a same kind of thing. Let me I'll do NASDAQ first. I'll do NASDAQ first. All right. So NASDAQ, broke the bearish divergence. We're outside of it. Squeeze forming, right? All right. So we broke out of this little triangle pattern. We broke out of it. Okay. But we made an indecision candle here. Then we started going higher. And then here we got to this area of resistance at 24,000 area. Okay. And that was today. And then we rejected, right? We rejected, and then we came and we held that 23,850. Okay. And now we're holding that now. Okay. But this still is a rejection candle. Tomorrow, this could easily come back down. And this could come back down to the 23,600 area. It could easily come back down here. All right. If it does that, it's still, I'm not saying that's bad. It could still come down here, and this could still be a little bull flag, and this overall could be a big bull flag, right? But just feel like that 24,000 level is a very strong resistance area. If we can push through that and break it, that's going to be a big push. It's going to be a big push, especially with that squeeze setup. If we could push through that, I think that it's going to have a nice big move. But until then, I think that this is a very hard resistance level. And I think this either chops around sideways here, or it maybe go up some and then come back the next day, or it comes back down tomorrow and then chops around and it comes back up the next couple days. I don't think we're gonna get that big giant breakout. And if we do get that breakout this week, I would be cautious about next week big time, because if we do get a big breakout before the Fed meeting in anticipation for the Fed cuts, then when it does cut, then it could reverse really hard. All right. So, it's just like earnings, right? It's like if you're gonna run up into earnings, chances are it's gonna have bad earnings and it's gonna drop. And if it sells off into earnings, chances are it could have good earnings, right? And it does nothing, right? You're just right smack in the middle. It could be good or bad, or it could just be flat. All right. All right. So let's go on the Qs. All right. Q. All right. So here we see this area right here, 583.28, was a breakout level. Okay, we broke out of this little triangle, and we rejected. We gapped up, rejected. Okay, then we came in, slowly came up, chopped around, and then again gapped up, sold off. Both of these breakout points are gap up and selling off. And this is another reason I'm not trusting it so much, because we did get outside this triangle here. Okay, we gapped up, we sold off, we held this area of support. Okay, then we gapped up, did nothing, gapped up a little bit, did nothing really, then gapped up a lot, sold off all the way back down, didn't really push through that breakout, right? We gapped up above it, sold down below, and then held 580. So again, not liking that kind of action. That action, it's like it's to me, it's weakness. To me, it's weakness. The gap ups and sell offs, like gap up, sell off. Okay, then you gap up, sell off. Okay, here we opened up where we were, sold off a little, and then came back up. Here we gapped up, sold off. Okay, so majority of these days have been gap up and sell offs. So again, tomorrow we gap up, there's a possibility we sell off. We gap down, there's a good possibility, because of where SPY is and because of where QQQ is. If we do gap down, let's see here. This was a gap up, right? Sold off. Okay. Then we gap down tomorrow. That's still going to be kind of considered a shooting star as well. Because all the shooting star needs is a gap up and then a gap down. So here we have a gap up, and then if we gap down tomorrow, that's a shooting star. Okay. So if that happens, we come back down 575, 576, maybe even 574. But this price action with the gap up and sell offs, it's not showing me that, hey, market's strong. It's showing me that, hey, the market could only move in a positive direction after hours where nobody's trading it, right? So the moves are happening after hours, and then when the market opens, they're just selling off, right? Selling off, just selling off. So the weakness is in the regular sessions. Okay, the strength is in the overnight, and so that's telling me that people are not confident in this market. They're probably taking some money off the tables, right? On every gap up they can possibly get, they take it off. So I'm not convinced yet. Okay, not convinced yet. Okay, the RSI is the divergence is broken on the Qs as well. Okay, it is broken, but again, easily can come back inside tomorrow. All right. And if we do break through, if we hold 580 and then break back over 583, I want to see it with some volume, with some enthusiasm, with the buyers enthusiasm. Because this whole gap up selling off thing, it's grinding up. Don't get me wrong. It's an uptrend, but it's just the price action is weak. I don't like it. It's not giving me confidence in the market overall, right? And why would you be comfortable with this kind of action, right? Right. So this one gap up, right? Soft. This one, but this one then opened up and then rallied. This one opened up, sold. This one gap up a little bit, rallied. This one gap up, and then here we go, right? So this is a perfect example of this one gap up, okay, and then this one gap down, and then we came rolling down. So if that happens again at the same area, almost like a double top, we gapped up and then sold off. If we gap down tomorrow and do whatever we do, that we could have a revisit to this. Right? It could be the same thing, and then we come down to like 570. Okay, 570. Even if we come down to 574, that's a 20 SMA. Come down there. So anticipating both ways, right? But I'm not thinking we're gonna have huge moves, just because Fed is literally a week away, and I don't think the market's gonna have major moves before that. I think we're just gonna have this slow price action until then. I could be wrong, but I just feel like that's what it's been doing, kind of just making moves after hours, coming back down, and then kind of we're making moves, but they're slow moves that we're barely moving. Okay, we're having bigger moves intraday, right? So we have that big gap up, then sell off, then came back up, and then we come back again to that exact spot, right? And then sell off some, okay, then come back down a little bit more, and then come back up, and now we're back down to that same spot. So in overall, for the past 4 days, we've been kind of in the same area, right? Same area. And what is that? It's just chopping around in a different sense. Okay. So that's my thoughts on both SPY and QQQ. I'm not saying don't have calls at all and go full puts. I'm saying just be hedged. I'm saying you can have calls. We're making money on some calls, right? Right, we make some money on some Google calls, some PLT Palantir calls, other calls, but the price action isn't showing me strength. That's what I'm trying to say. And in this whole area, it's not showing me a very strong market, in a sense where I think, okay, this thing is getting ready to break out and rip it to 600. I don't see that here. I see that it's struggling. It's struggling. It's still going, but it's struggling. It's a struggle bus. It's struggling to get to those levels, right? It's not consistently just flow. It's chopping and going. All right. Let's see here. All right. So the same thing here with the IWM. You can see that, we try to break out here, failed, came back inside. Okay, held that 231, came back up here, rejected again. Now it's just chopping around right there. So, you see this kind of action, and you're like, okay, obviously in this area, it's weak. This area is weak. 238, 237 area is weak. Can't get past 240. It's coming back down. It's hanging around 235. So, for the past week and a half, we've been around 235. Okay. And our side is kind of weakening. Let's see. It's kind of weakening. I don't want to say it has like a huge divergence there, but we can see that it can't get past this level. Can't get past this level. Okay. Which means the buyers aren't there. Buyers aren't there. We get to that area and it's weak. And we can see low volume on in here too. Okay. Go to, let's see, 4 hour here. Okay. We do have a little cup and handle here forming, but our side looking weak, under 50. Squeeze is firing down. Okay. Bear flag has on the hourly. Overall, 4 hour cup and handle. Let's see, hourly. Hourly, just rejection area here at that 238. So 237, 238 rejection areas. Okay, 235 is support. Our size still below 50 on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. So if this loses 235.50, it drops back down. But if it could hold this area, come back up over here, that cup and handle could play out. Could play out. But again, the action is weak, right? So we had a bull flag here that fired, okay? Formed another bull flag that fired and then came back inside, okay? Came back inside to the support and then fired again, and now it's just hanging out at the area that it broke out from. That's just weak. It's a weak. Okay, that's the definition of weakness right there. You keep breaking out, but you're failing. You break out and you fail. You break out, you fail. You break out, you fail. It's struggling. It's struggling. So again, I'm not saying go full on bearish, but I'm saying be hedged because the market is struggling. It's still trying, but it is struggling. It is struggling. Okay. All right. Let's see. DIA. Okay. The Dow Jones. All right. Dow Jones. Here we go. We got that big breakout. Okay. And then didn't break out. Came back down. Couldn't break out. This one attempted breakout. Failed. Okay. This one broke out and then failed. So again, it's across the markets. It's struggle market right now. Market is struggling. Okay, it's like it's trying to breathe. It's trying to breathe. It either needs to get some new air, a new air supply to actually breathe and rip, or it's gonna have to come back down for some more air. Right, so you have to come down for some more air. So if this drops, this comes back down to 448. This one's the closest one to the 20 SMA. You can see the divergence here as well. Definitely the divergence here on Dow Jones. We do got some big volume areas, but there's no follow through. So hence my relentlessness to be fully on like calls for the market and to anticipate that we're going to be pulled back at least some is because the struggle. Now on the weekly it looks good, right? On the weekly it looks good. So could it just be that we're just consolidating on the weekly and then we're going to break out possibly for the Fed? Maybe. Could be that. Maybe it could be that. But until then, I'd rather be hedged than sorry. Okay. And right now, the market at least on the lower time frames, are looking a little exhausted, tired. Okay. So again, here, a little bear flag there on that 1 hour. Okay, consolidation. Okay, this one was a bear flag as well, and then it got out of that, and then here we're gonna make another one. Let's see, do we get out of it again and just keep on doing that same pattern, or we just chop around in this general zone? I don't know, but this is why it's I'm more leaning towards, we pretty much chop around in this general zone. Maybe we do break out a little, but if we if we do break out and start pushing before the Fed meeting, I would anticipate a hard sell after the Fed meeting. So remember, I always say the initial move on the Fed day is the opposite, right? So if Wednesday comes, market just comes out with the news that they cut rates, we're gonna get an initial pop, right? We'll get an initial pop, but overall, we might come back down. So here's the thing: when things like this stuff happen, you don't want to overtrade right now, right? You don't want to trade too much right now because the market's doing nothing; it's going sideways. Okay, you don't want to overtrade. You don't want to expend all your funds in the markets right now. Just chill out, chill back, right? When the Fed meeting comes and the big moves start coming in because of that, that's when you expend it all. That's when you expend, right? That's when you start playing for those big moves. Okay, so you could not trade all week, right? Fed meeting comes, maybe you don't want to trade then, but when you get that direction, then you trade, whether it's after the Fed or you trade on the Fed. You can make everything that you would have made in one day, right? If you do it right, right? And that's what we're anticipating. We're anticipating, all right, do what you want now for the next week, because it has been doing whatever it wants, pretty much nothing. And then when the Fed meeting comes, because that's what everybody's waiting for, are they going to cut or not? Are they going to cut or not? That's a big question. Everybody says they are, right? They've been saying they are for the past months, right? So if they do this time, we'll get that initial pop, and then it's going to pop, then it will drop. So my strategy coming in on the feed meeting, maybe it changes on the day up, but what I'm thinking now is on Fed day, it's going to pop. Whatever it pops to, I'm going to get some puts on there for the next day or for the same day. And then I'm going to see if that thing rises back down. Okay. Of course, I won't do too heavy until it convinces me that it is going that way. But if that happens, we could easily make a big fat payday on that. All right. Let's get into some stocks. All right, let's see. Okay, TA. What is that? Okay, TA. Okay, TA. Okay. All right. All right. Looks like a couple things here. It looks like a descending triangle. Okay, but it looks like it's super weak. It tried to get over the 50 on the RSI several times. Rejected. Okay. Coming down, squeeze forming to the downside. All right. You have all this space right here that you're probably gonna feel. You're rejecting the 50 on here. Got a lot of sell volume area here. You're gonna consolidate between this 88 and 91 area until it makes it a decision that it wants to go, or it wants to break up, or wants to break down. Descending triangles, typically it's a breakdown pattern. So typically it's a bearish pattern, right? So you're below the 100 SMA, the 200 SMA, the 50 SMA, and now the 20 SMA. Okay, that's generally a bearish sentiment. Being below all of your moving averages is pretty bearish, right? Now, if you do break down, you're gonna probably be heading towards the $78, right? So you're gonna have one target here at 85. I want to say right there. So 84.50 and then 78. Okay, if that happens, I'd be a buyer at 78, right? Let's see here. Yeah, I'd be a buyer at 78. Okay. Looking at the weekly, we have a lot of bottoming tails here, but this is just consolidation. We got indecision candles. Okay, we got this candle, whatever it closes this week, it's probably going to close something similar like this in the week. Or it might be an indecision candle, might go up a little bit this week, and it's an indecision candle. But overall, I don't think nothing happens with this until next week because you got all this time. You got all this time still. So this one is dead money this week, I think. Chop around, maybe it comes down a little bit more here. Maybe another $2 comes down and then pops up Friday or something, and then next week is going to do whatever it does, and then probably at the Fed meeting or the day after, this thing is going to make the move, whether that's going to be up or down on this. But the consensus on the chart is signaling down. But of course, we don't know what news is going to come out next week. But this trend line is being respected very well. Every time it hits it, it sells off hard. Okay, but then that shows you as well. Whenever it hits at 88, it bounces hard. So be a buyer at 88, a seller at 94, 93, 94, until this thing decides what it wants to do. Because right now it's consolidating. It's not going to do anything. But when it does move, it's going to move. Has a nice squeeze on it. I really think that it looking weak. What is this stock here? OKT, information technology. Okay. Okay, cloud stuff. Okay. Well, yeah. That's what it looks like. Okay. Unless there's any news on it that's going to come out and help it. So far, it doesn't look too great. Okay. All right, you. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right, you. All right. The hell? Move. All right. Let's see here. All right, this one, it's hitting the top of the channel, and it has a slight, just a weakening RSI. I don't want to say it's a divergence because it's like a brand new trend here, but definitely hitting the top of the channel. We have a gap fill right here at 40.65. So 40.65. All right, 40.65. Gap fill. Oh, right there. All right. So This one's looking like it's going to go to the gap fill. Okay, it rejected hard. Volume wasn't that big, but the candle was big. It could come back. If it comes back again, because we have a hanging man and then a bearish engulfing right there. Okay, it pretty much gave up these 2 days in one day. Okay, if it drops some more, which we could look at early here, it's pretty much on a free fall there. Pretty much no strength there. No strength at all. RSI is what? 23. So you might get a little bounce just to have the RSI get up a little bit. But this is looking like it might fill that gap and then maybe build a bull flag, consolidate here, and then start moving up, or is going to go sideways for a little while so it can make room in the channel, just like it did here. It hit there, went sideways for a while, made room, okay, and then decided to push. But there's no room to go unless it breaks out the channel, and this is saying, it's not going to do that right now. So we did have some good volume here on these two guys, but it wasn't enough. All that volume dried out here, and this guy was below average volume, and this guy, it was below average volume too, but they pulled back so much. So I'm thinking it's not going to break through that unless we gap up and have a candle right here inside here around 44.50, and starts building a sideways bull flag. This one is going to come back down here to that 40.65, and then from there maybe it bounces back up and then builds something. But I don't think it's breaking out of that channel right now. So this is your wall. This is your wall for now. All right. Okay. All right. All right, Apple. All right, Apple. What do we got here? All right, Apple. Oh, I don't like these arches. I tell you guys all the time, I don't like pyramids and I don't like the arches. Okay, Apple kind of did that little arch there and then came back up and hit that 240 target, which was our target, and then decided to make an arch. Another arch. You know why I said I don't like those arches? Because they form inverted cup and handles, right? So there's the cup, right? The inverted cup, right? So where we are right now, it's probably going to hold. It's probably going to hold there and then bounce back up a little bit. It's probably going to bounce back up a little bit, and then maybe come back maybe to 230, and then if that rejects, then you know that it's either building an inverted cup and handle, or this is building a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so we have the one shoulder here, the left shoulder. We got the head here. Okay, this is the neckline right at 226. All right, that's the neckline. So we bounce up this week. We bounce up, and then we get rejected at that 231 area. That's going to be forming the right shoulder or even the handle of the inverted cup. And then this thing could drop, right? And that's why I don't like these arches, right? If you're in calls, the arches no good. So in order to get out of there and get on the track again, upside, we need to get above that 20 SMA. Got to get above that 20 SMA at 231.50 and stay above it and hold it, and then get on that road back to 240. But otherwise, if we do bounce and we reject that 231.50 area, then yeah, this thing can drop more. So I would be cautious on there. So let's see here. All right, so we had that bull flag there. We fired it to that 240, and then we have this. It's not a bearish engulfing, but it is a nasty red candle. So I am thinking this one is going to come back up this week. We'll probably close around 230 for the week on Apple, around 230, I would say. If we don't, and this just comes back down, we're gonna hit that 200 SMA. And this thing is just super weak. And we know that Apple typically sells off at its event and it's after its event. Okay, it's cyclical like that. It does it all the time. Okay, what could this have been different? Maybe it could have been different, right? It could have been different just because Apple's the only one who is not past its all-time highs, right? It's been lagging forever. Okay, we had good news on it with Google and stuff. Oh, let's see, my computer's dying. Plug it in really quick. All right. So, all right, there we go. We're back. All right. It had that good news with Google, right? And yeah, but doesn't matter. Apple just wants to be Apple. Okay, Apple has just been doing Apple. Right? We were in this garbage here for a while, and then we had that rally. Then it did more garbage. Then we had a nice little rally, and then another rally, and now it's garbage again. It just doesn't like this area, right? It doesn't like this area. This area here, lots of consolidation there. Okay, but those arches, not a big fan of those arches. Arches, they mean inverted cup and handle or head and shoulders. So, don't like those arches. Okay, we have a potential to bounce to 230, 231. Again, if we get rejected in that area, then we're most likely building a head and shoulders pattern. Okay. What's going on here? All right, there we go. All right, sorry, my computer's acting a little slow. Okay. All right, Microsoft. Let's get into Microsoft here. All right, Microsoft. All right, so Microsoft lost the channel. Was it Friday? Friday, we lost that channel. All right, what are we doing? Building a bear flag, right? So we're outside the channel. Okay, we're building a bear flag. All right, 20 SMA is coming down. Okay, as you can see here, we've been kind of coming down here. We've been coming down here on this little channel down. Okay, right smack right there. All right, so the 20 SMA is going to start acting as a resistance now, and it's right here, right on that channel. So if we get any higher with Microsoft, if Microsoft comes up a little bit higher to 505, let's say 505, if it rejects this area right here, 505, then we know, okay, that's the top of the channel. It's going to reject, and we're going to come down even more. Okay, and that's going to be where the RSI here comes up to that 50 zone. So it comes up to that 50 area, rejects there, and this rejects there. That's just going to confirm that, okay, we're outside the channel. We're falling off. Okay, this is a bear flag. We're going to be dropping back down, going towards 490 and 480 on Microsoft. Okay, if Microsoft could break through that 20 SMA and get back over that 50 SMA, and get through this high here at a 511.97, then it has a chance to go bullish again. But overall, this doesn't look like it is going to do that. But there's always that chance. There's always that chance that it can. So let's put it out there. But overall, I think it's going to hit this channel, or it's going to just go sideways until it hits the channel, and then we're going to drop it. We'll drop it down. So Microsoft, I think, is going to go 490, 480 overall over the next couple weeks, right? And again, we might just go sideways tomorrow, Friday, and then drop it a little bit next week or whatnot until the Fed meeting. But doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look healthy. Doesn't look healthy. And the weekly looks like it needs a healthy pullback to like 475, and then build back another bull flag on that monthly. Let's see. Yeah, about 475 right here. I'd be a buyer right there. 470 to 475. Be a buyer there for longer term. But again, this could just it could go to that 490, 480 here, and then chop around there. But if it comes down to that 475, I'd be a buyer there for longer term. But okay, on the monthly, it's a nice looking bull flag, but it's just in the pullback stage of the bull flag. So if it comes back to that 475 area, it's a buy. It's a buy for me at least. Okay, but for now, I think it goes more down. I think Microsoft has more down to go. So yes, Microsoft, yes, more to come, more down to come. Okay. All right. TTD. All right, TDD. Remember this one dropped hard on earnings, right? And then everybody wanted to get long it, but it's not doing well. And then they came out with forward guidance that was not good. They said that they were not performing, and they were not getting their revenue from advertising as they wanted to. So, and it shows for the stock. The stock shows that they aren't. So what is the deal with it? Well, we consolidated here for a long time, and since we're dropping, that they weren't buying it up here. Maybe some people were buying, but overall market wasn't buying it. So now it's dropping here with high volume, really high volume there. So I would wait until this gets to 44 or 43, and then I would see if it holds. So another $2-3 drop, and then I would see if it double bottoms here and holds that level. And if it could hold that level and it shows some strength there, then I would be okay. Maybe this is potential for a double bottom there. But if it cuts right through that, I would just I would get out and stay out. So that potential for that double bottom would be right there at that 43 to 44 area. And if it does that, then you could have a potential W pattern, potentially. I don't think it would go all the way back up to 130, but I do think if this double bottoms here, we at least go back to 70, 75. So that'd be good. That'd be good. If you can get it at 42 and it goes back up to 70, that's a good play. Okay, but this could also be a little a weekly bear flag that is just firing now today, and it could get even worse and then drop. If it breaks this low, I would just stay away from it. So like I said, if you get to that 43, 44 area and it's holding and it shows that it wants to have some strength there, then cool. But if it cuts through it, this is a bear flag firing down and it's going lower. I would stay away from it. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's see. Tesla. All right. Tesla here. Okay. Tesla's in this channel, sideways channel. All right. We're at that 355 area, that 356 area. We're kind of just grinding up in this fashion. Okay. And I think that we still have a little bit more room to just do nothing with. We had a squeeze fire up today, but it didn't go through. At the end of the day, it all sold off. Right. It had a great morning and it had a great intermediate day, but at the end of the day, it just gave it all back up. So what does that tell you? It's just doing nothing, right? This is this little chop area that is completely doing nothing. Right here in this chop area, it's doing nothing, and then you still have room right here for some more nothing. So I think in the next 2 days, maybe tomorrow doesn't do anything. Friday, possibly it could make a move. Okay, we see that Fridays it tries to make moves, but I think next week it will definitely make a move. Okay, Friday possibly, but next week definitely gonna make a move. And if we could break through that 355 with conviction, I think we can make a big move to like 370 to 380. I think that could be a big move. But we gotta clear this little resistance here between 358 and 355. That $3 range rejects all the time. It rejects that. Okay. It rejects this zone right here. That 355 to 358. That's a rejection area. So again, we had a good day, and then at the end of the day, just gave it all back. Okay. So right now, Tesla, it's in that sideways chop area, but it looks good overall. It looks like I want to say Friday or next week, within the week, it breaks up. Okay. But you do have room right here. You have room right here. Okay. So sideways consolidation for now. All right. Okay. All right, here. Let's see. GLD. What is it? GLD. All right, GLD. Massive breakout, right? Been banking on this one. We got that massive breakout here. Okay. Our target that was is 345. Well, our first target was 330. We hit that one easy. Okay. And then our next target is 345.35. Today, I don't think this candle's right. I don't think we dropped that low. Let's see here. Yeah, no, we didn't drop at all. We just went sideways. So that candle's wrong. That candle on the daily is wrong. I don't know why. Let me see what the low is. Okay, the low is 334.62. 334.62. Okay. The high is 336.50. All right, the low is 334.62. 334.62. 334.62. 334.62. 334.62. Okay, 334.62. All right. So that's the real candle. That's what it actually supposed to look like. It was an inside day. Okay, so just consolidating. What does that look like? It just looks like this. It's building a bull flag on the 4 hour. Okay. Is it bearish? No, not bearish. It's just going sideways. So it still could build this bull flag and fire it up still. You know, it's still good to me. And coming with the Fed coming up, and if they do cut rates, that's just gonna push gold higher, right? But I'm definitely, if we hit my target at 345, which I think we will, if we hit the target 345 before next Wednesday, I'm gonna be selling. I want to be selling. I think I already sold some already yesterday and today. I mean, they're up nicely. We are getting a little divergence here, but that could just be an RSI reset. So we're gonna go sideways, probably tomorrow too. We go a little bit sideways. We're probably gonna be in this range here. $333, $336. So we're gonna be in this range here. So if we do drop, we go to 333. Probably bounce back up Friday or whatever day. I don't think we get outside this range. If you do lose 333, we're going back to 330. But all the gold calls are up nicely. So if you're worried about it, take the profits. They're up nice. But I do think it's just consolidating for a bull flag, and we're still going to go to 345. I think those are still in the cards. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Oracle. Got it. All right. Oracle. What a move, right? What a move. What a move. Okay. Crazy giant move up. Earnings blew it out the water. All right. So now what? Well, just like what AVGO was it that did the same thing? Not as big though. I think this one was bigger. This move was bigger, a lot bigger. But yeah, it did the same thing, and then it sold off. This one, rallied all the way up to 345, crazy, and then sold off some. Okay, all right. So came to 345, okay, and then sold off some. All right, after hours, it's up a little bit. Okay. Let's see here. So we got a little bearish divergence on the hourly, right? Bearish divergence on the hourly here. Okay. We came up here, sold off basically to the open, and then held that, and then just kind of ended that there. So my target area was 347. It went to 345, 72, and then sold off there. I don't think it gets back up there. And if it does get back up around here at 345, I think it sells back off again. Why do I say that? Well, this candle here is a special candle, right? It's a topping tail candle. Of course, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Maybe it's maybe we gap up and sell off like AVGO did and make it bearish engulfing. So if we get a topping tail here, and then tomorrow we gap up and we sell off, and then we get a topping tail plus a bearish engulfing, that's going to tell us that we're going to drop back down probably to 300. Probably 300. Okay. At least to 311. Okay, but I'm banking 300. 300, and then maybe that finds grounding there and then consolidates sideways for a while. Okay, because whenever these have big moves like this, one of two things could happen: big move like this, and then it falls back down straight away, or it gets this big move and then it goes kind of sideways for a little while. Sideways. Okay, so that's what we're anticipating here. All right, so we're going to be looking at this. Okay, this zone right there. All right, so that zone right there, that's going to be your support and your resistance here. So whatever we open at, it comes back down here. Okay, it needs to hold it. Okay, 329 needs to hold it. If it doesn't, falls inside of it. Okay, it's going to reject 329. Then if it loses 318.50, if it loses that, then we're going to 300. Okay, 300 to 298, 298 to 300. All right. If it somehow gets some super strength and pushes through that 345, it goes 347. But I need to see the next candle, but it's looking like it's gonna either gap up and sell off, or kind of stay in this area right here. All right. All right. Amazon. Did I already do Amazon? No. Okay. All right. Amazon. People want to keep playing Amazon. I'm not playing Amazon. I don't really like it. I don't like the price action. I don't like how it's been acting all year. I don't like the chart. I don't like anything really about it. It's ugly price action. Ugly price action. Okay, Amazon attempted to break out 3 times here and failed. Okay, came back up to that general area, failed. Came up back up, tried to break out again, it failed again. Okay. Yeah, I just think it's weak. I think the stock is weak. I don't think it's I think it's comfortable at this price. It's been over here it was up here for a while, dropped back down here. Okay. Making this like giant cup and handle here. Okay. Every time it gets to the 235 area, it doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. That's kind of like how the market's acting right now. Every time it gets past these areas, it falls back down. I don't like that price action. I don't like that. That's a weak price action. So the price action is weak. You see that in the general zones where that price action is weak at, and you say, okay, I want to stay clear of that area, or I want to be hedged. Okay, and obviously this is a clear area where you wanted to be hedged. It broke out. What did it get to 238.85, almost 239, and then decided, boom, big sell off on big volume, 150%. Come down here to that 20 SMA, holding that for now. But if it doesn't hold that, it's going to come back down to this gap fill at 227. Okay, 227 is a big level for that. It likes to hang out at 227. Okay, RSI is weak. Even with that big gap up and breakout, the RSI didn't do nothing. Okay, it made a bearish divergence. So, you try to break out of the shaded area, and then now you're back inside of it. That's never a good sign. It's a weak sign. Always a weak sign. So I'm just like this. Try to break out the shaded area. Came back inside. Tried. Nope. Tried again. Nope. All the way down. Okay, here. Tried. Nope. Okay, here. Tried. Nope. Okay, tried again. Held. Did it. And then nope. So I don't know. I haven't touched the Amazon, and I don't plan on touching it. I think it looks weak, and I think it looks choppy, and I think it looks like frustration. Like when I look at Amazon's chart, I see frustration, and I don't want to be in a stock that when I look at it, it shows me frustration. It's frustrating looking at it, right? So you got plenty of failed breakouts. You got plenty of chop. You got consolidation in this zone, transferring over here to consolidation in this zone. You got failed breakouts here. Then you got failed breakouts here. You know, it's just like I'd rather wait until Amazon is 250 or 240 245 than try to trade it at any of this area here. Maybe if it comes all the way back down to 217, I'll consider maybe getting some, because then these moving averages will be up here. Maybe I'll consider that, playing it. But other than that, right here, it's just like no man's land. No man's land. It's frustration zone right there. No thank you on that. No thank you on the frustration zone. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right, what's next? You. Okay. All right. You. Nice bull flag. Nice big bull flag here. Okay, we had a nice big bull flag chop around for like 2 weeks, a week and a half. And then attempted breakout yesterday. We attempted breakout 1346. Okay, big volume too. Nice volume, 95%. Nice volume. Oh wait, no, that was today, 95%. But yesterday, big volume, above average volume. Couldn't do it though. Couldn't stay above that 1335. Couldn't do it. Okay, today we had not an inside day, but we did have was it gap up? Yeah, it did gap up. Let's see, open at 1308. This one closed at 1308. Oh no, it didn't. It didn't gap up. So it opened exactly where it closed. So it just had a bearish candle. It's not even inside. Okay, this is an inside day candle. It's just a bearish candle. Okay, so what could that mean? Well, it could mean it's building a bull flag on the 4 hour. So if this comes back up, okay, this comes back up, 1287, it stays above 1287 and holds up. This would be a nice little bull flag, and then we have another attempt to break out. Hopefully that's what it does, because it looks good, it looks strong. But this is also looking like, considering this resistance here, if it stays like that, this could build up like an ascending triangle here. And then this goes sideways until it hits this uptrend again, and then we could go up. So this could take like a couple days to do. Okay, Thursday, Friday, and then it could go Friday, or it could not go Friday, and it could go on Monday or Tuesday, right? But looking like it could go Friday. If tomorrow is positive, Friday can go. It could go Friday. Okay, because this line right here is end of the week. So we got Thursday and then Friday push through. The latest it would be Monday or Tuesday, because that's the end of the line. Okay, but I would think it would go Friday. So tomorrow is a positive day, and we're above 1287, and we're chilling, just going sideways. It doesn't have to do anything. I think Friday we have a nice day, a potential breakout day. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. GS. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs looks good. I said, what did I say the other day? I said banks looked like they were going to run, right? And they're doing that. Okay. They're doing that. Okay. Banks are looking like they're going to run. Okay. In anticipation of what? The rate cut. So what? That they could start producing more loans again, start borrowing more money, sending out loans, being cheaper, right? So we had a breakout above 752. Okay, breakout above 752.40. Okay, our target is 786. Okay, right now it's in the middle, right here at 770. Okay, not bad. Looks good. Volume looks good. Everything looks good. Looks like it's steadily grinding up. There was a breakout point. Okay, consolidated here. We broke out of this consolidation. Okay, heading to the next target. Nothing else to say there. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Tesla calls for September. If market falls next week, so does it have to go higher this week? Tesla doesn't have to go higher this week. I said that it could go Friday, but more than likely, it's looking like it's going to go next week. With Tesla, it's by the pattern, but the pattern you could go Friday. It could go Friday. Okay. And it's a big next week, so it's a all right. All right, okay, MicroStrategy. All right, MicroStrategy. All right, let's get out of that. All right, now let's see. So we see there. Right there. All right. So MicroStrategy is in a downtrend, right? We established that a couple weeks ago, right? We said once it loses that 356.60, you just don't want it no more. Okay, it lost it. Okay, try to get it back, failed, and been just slowly grinding down. All right, it looks like it has some kind of little support right here. All right, at 326. And when you're in a downtrend and you are consolidating near the channel like this, that sometimes signals that it's going to break out. Okay, this here it did not; it fell down. Okay, so here it's trying to do that again, trying to consolidate near that channel. All right, but we have big support right here at 306. So I don't know what happens with the markets next week, whether we're going to pop or drop or whatever. But Bitcoin goes with the markets, right? So MicroStrategy isn't really going with Bitcoin too much, and I feel like I wouldn't mind being a buyer here, but at the same time, I would rather be a buyer at 306. I'd rather be a buyer at 306 because number one, we're in a downtrend. Okay, we might be starting to build a little bullish divergence, but it's not there yet. We have some support here, but you could easily lose that. Once it hits that 20 SMA, we haven't hit that 20 SMA yet. Okay, if we hit that 20 SMA, this could easily drop it. And do I want to lose 20 points on there? No, not really. And then like we got the 50 SMA trying to cross over the 100 SMA. That's bearish, right? We don't like that. Okay, so I'm not a buyer right here. I would be a buyer at 306, but I need to see it hold at 306. So if we were doing this and it was at 306, I'd be a buyer. But we're at 326. It's doing this. I feel like if that 20 SMA comes down and then we hit it, I feel like we're going to come back down here. So I don't think it's ready yet. It looks like it's prepping. It's prepping. It definitely is prepping. But, I don't mind having MicroStrategy break the 20 SMA first and clear it before I get in. So right now the 20 SMA is at 345. So I don't think it's ready yet. We seen it test the 20 SMA right here, and it failed horribly. So I need to see it tested again, and I need to see. I would rather buy it when it's over it, because then that tells me there's actual strength in MicroStrategy. But right now it's just going sideways, doing nothing. It's holding 326, but that could easily fail. So if we do get a pop and you get over that 20 SMA and you're above it, then I'd be more convinced of being a buyer. But seeing that it's just holding 326 and the 50 SMA is going to cross over the 100 SMA, I'd be patiently waiting for 306. All right. Okay. All right, core wave. Let's see here. CRV or CRWB. All right, this one. Yeah, we said last week that this one would move, make a move. I said it looked good last week, right? Said it looked good last week, and it did, and it popped off. All right. Now what does it do now, huh? Well, I hope you took profits on it, because I told you it was gonna go this area. I said this general area was gonna hit, and it did. It hit more, hit 124. So I hope you took profits on it. What is it gonna do now? You gotta see what tomorrow brings. Right now, it does have a bull flag on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. It has a bull flag, but you still got to see what tomorrow brings, because this bull flag could still go a little low. This could come back down to 113 and hang out there. It could even come down a little bit more to 110. It'd still be a nice bull flag. But overall, looks good. Looks like a nice bull flag on the 4-hour, on the 1-hour. Looks good. So if this is a bull flag on the 1-hour and the 4-hour that is primed, then you got to break that 125. You break that 125, you go 128, 130, 133. Okay. So hourly bull flag looks like it's there, but it doesn't look too strong. 4-hour looks a lot better. So again, what's it going to do tomorrow? Most likely it's going to go sideways. Maybe a little higher, but I think it just stays in this above 113, but stays around here. It's gonna build up a little bit. Okay, it's between the 50 and the 100. If you can get above the 50 and hold, that's going to be a good sign. But if you're going to stay in between them and just stay around 113 area, it's just building a bull flag, and you just got to wait it out. All right. Right. All right. There's a stock I haven't heard of in a while. Chipotle, huh? CMG. Oh, wow. This thing's tanking, huh? Okay. Well, there she goes. Bye-bye, birdie. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. Doesn't look good at all. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, no. This one still has more room down. All right. It's in a free fall here. Okay. Squeeze firing down. High volume coming down. This one's going to 35, 90, 36 area. So it needs a hold this zone. It needs to hold that. Or it's gonna go 35, 36. And then that's going to be the lower end of the channel. If it holds there, maybe that's a buy, but you won't know until you get there, and you still got a lot of room down. All right, so don't catch that falling knife. Do not catch that falling knife. All right, Uber here. Almost reminds me of Amazon's top. Just looks frustrating. Just looks like frustration. All right, try to break out, failed. Try to break out, failed. Failed. Okay. This zone right here is a failure zone. It's a failure zone. Okay. So until you get past that zone, why think it's going to do anything different than fail? It's a failure zone. So, you do have the R side above 50, you got to squeeze, but you're still failing. You failed once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times last week. Okay, dropped, came back up, failed today. Okay, you are above moving averages. That's a good sign. But until you pass this failure zone, it's just chop. It's chop. So, I mean, if you keep coming to this area 96 to 97 and you keep dropping, until it does something different, it's going to keep doing the same. So it needs to pass that 78. I mean 97, 73. Needs to break out of there on good volume. Until then, it's just gonna fail every time right here. So, it's might give me Amazon vibes there. Okay, what is this? BM. Okay. I think I have a drawing on it. So apparently I looked at it before, and looks like I said this is complete chop area, and it hasn't changed. So Don't know what to tell you. Sideways consolidation. Let it go. It went from $3 to $161 and then back down here. And now it's consolidating at 44, 45 area. Okay. Well, okay. All right. Well, here you go. And let me see. All right. So you got your upper end, your lower end, your mid. Okay. This is a chop, chop, chop. Okay, you're rejecting your mid right now, and you're in your lower end. Okay, this is if you believe in the stock, I would get long it, or if it has options, I don't even know if it does. It does. Yep, and I would get leaps on it, but I wouldn't trade the stock. I wouldn't trade it. It doesn't move enough for me. I wouldn't trade it. It's in a consolidation mode. I would buy it at 33 and then sell it in the 40s. And then I'd short it in the 50s and 60s and then buy it in the 30s again. That's how I would trade it. Otherwise, it's a long-term play if you believe in it. So if you believe in it, long-term play, cool. But otherwise, I'm not interested. Yep. Yes, there is time to make money and there is time to sit on your hands. Yeah. Right now is, I mean, you can make money in some things. We made good money in Google, GLD, GDX, SLV, made some good money in those. But the overall market right now, yes, it is choppy, too choppy. So when the market's trending, great, make that money. When the market's choppy, it's going to eat all that money you made in the trend. So when it's going sideways, chopping around, you don't want to be heavy because you're gonna get eaten by the time the options, the time decay. So you don't want that. Okay, you don't want that. So just wait it out. Wait it out. Okay, UNH. Okay. All right, UNH. Okay, fired a bull flag. Big volume. Looks good. Just going sideways. Building another bull flag, probably in the hourly. Yep. Bull flag building. Okay, 4 hour. Yep, bull flag on the 4 hour. It's just chilling, building a bull flag. Nothing crazy. You got a gap fill right there at 377. That's where it wants to go. Okay. Okay. All right. Google. Google's been a monster. Google's been a monster ever since it broke out of this. Well, it's been doing pretty well for a little bit, for at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay. Google hit our main target here at 240. Hit it yesterday and today. Okay, the 240 area. All right. We want it to go to that 260. Okay. This is good resistance though. 240 is a good resistance area. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if it pulled back. But we have that monster breakout here. Monster breakout. Okay. Right here, monster breakout. Okay, we hit the first target here, 240. That's the first target. Okay, next target 260, next target 281. Okay, I still think this is good. It's gold. Short term, I have to see what tomorrow brings, but we couldn't get over 240 yesterday, and we couldn't get it over today. Okay, that's pretty much telling you it's good resistance. So, do I think we can pull back? Yeah, I do. I think we can. We would have to get above 240 tomorrow and hold it, and then make another push. If not, it's going to drop. Okay. So if you still got 240 calls for this week, I would get out. I mean, I think we got out of some yesterday and today. I think we just have like one more or something like that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if we can't get over that 240, we're going to come back down, and we're going to come to like 237, maybe 235. But I don't think we're going to go any lower than 233 overall. I think this is just going to build a little bull flag there, and then we're going to make a move. But we could gap over to 240 tomorrow, and then make a move. Could do that. All I'm saying is yesterday and today we couldn't get over that 240. So if we can't get over it again tomorrow, then that's your sign that we're going to pull back a little bit. All right. That is what it is. But Google been a workhorse, for us, and a great one. Okay, JD. All right, JD. JD has not done nothing for a long time. Very long time. Okay. JD has done nothing for a very long time. And then lots of volume started coming in here. And a squeeze fired. Okay. Candles made. Look great. Building a daily bull flag. Okay. Tomorrow we should be fine. It's probably gonna go sideways. And then Friday, I think it rips out of this. And if it does rip out of this 3430 area, we could make a big move to 3570. We can make a big move to 3570. Let's go to the 4-hour real quick. All right, so we get that move. Okay. So we need to stay above this level here. Stay above 33, we'll be fine. And then make it move up. Not really a bearish lever just now. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think it just needs a whole 33 and it'll be fine. And it could make a move. Still could make a move this week. By Friday. Still looks good. Beautiful daily though. Beautiful daily. Okay. Okay. Oh. Good. All right, look. Some of you guys are giving multiple stocks. Okay, I need to get through people who haven't had turns yet. So if you had turns already, can't be giving me more and more. I need to get through everybody that hasn't had a turn. Can't be hijacking the chat. All right. CRM. Okay. All right. Salesforce. Let's clear all this out. Okay. All right, Salesforce. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right, and we got a 200 SMA right here as well. All right, so let's see here. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Okay. So off the bat, it's rejecting its 50 on the RSI. Okay, that's not good. All right, we have support at 231. Okay, the 200 SMA is there as well. Okay, we have resistance here right at that 50 SMA. Okay, we got that 100 SMA resistance as well. All right, we're below moving averages, below the 200, below the 100, below the 50, below the 20. Okay, that's not good. Okay, all those things are just telling me bearish, bearish, bearish. So I wouldn't buy this until you're at that 231 and holding. Okay, you lose that, that's all bad news. Then you're gonna go to 209. Okay, so right now 242. No, needs to lose $10. Needs to lose $10. It's weak. There's support right here at 243, but close below that. And here's that upper end of the resistance here. So I think this probably goes back down to a 231. Let's see what the earnings do. Why does that keep doing that to me right now? All right, well, whatever. Yeah, I don't think this is unless we break out of 255. This thing's going down to 231. All right. Sorry about that, but that's just what it is. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Amazon, okay, did that. Okay, Microsoft did that. GLD did that. Okay. Okay. ENPH. All right. All right. Our side looks good. It looks fine. All right. Let's see here. All right. So we're in a downtrend here, right? We're in a downtrend right here. Okay, we're in a downtrend here. It broke the downtrend. Okay, now it's starting to build and it's starting to go. We broke the 20 SMA, we got above it. We broke the 50 SMA and got above it. Okay, so here's where we're at right now, right? We're above the 20, we're above the downtrend resistance, we're above the 50, we're holding. Our side above 50, great. Okay, everything looks fine. Okay, now the deal is now you got to get through 40. Does it look like it wants to do it? Yeah, it does. It looks like it wants to do it. Looks like this could be a beginning of a new uptrend up here. Okay. Now, in saying that, it's an energy, right? These ones take time. They're all over the place sometimes. Okay. So you're gonna make a move. You're gonna consolidate for a little while. and then you'll make another move. Will that move come? Sure, but it's just going to take a little time. So right now, this probably is the bottom. Let's see. Let's see the weekly here. Okay, so could be. Okay, still needs to get past this 20 SMA, which is the bigger one. That's 40. Okay, so yeah, needs to get past 40. Okay, needs to get past 40. But is this a good area? Yeah, I would think so. I would think if you would find the bottom here. Yeah, I would say as long as this candle continues past 40 this month, I think that bottomed out. Okay, and it looks like on the daily it is, or it's trying to. But if this comes back and sells off, breaks down 31 again, there's no bottom there. But if we could break past 40, then this one is looking like it bottomed out, and it's going to start a new uptrend. So, yeah, you just need to break 40. You need to break 40 and stay above 40. But if it does that, yeah, this one bottomed out, and it's ready to start a new uptrend. BMNR, I think I already did that one. Yep, did that one. TW. All right. Okay. TDW. All right. Tidewave Inc. Okay. Okay. It's not working out here. Try this one again. It's gonna have to be like that. All right, TDW looks good. Obviously in a bullish channel, going higher. Resistance at 61.30. Okay, you got support right here. Okay, support is looking good. It had earnings. The earnings, I guess, blew it out the water, huh? Earnings blew it out the water there. Okay, that's it. Oh, estimate and actual. Wow, yeah, huge earnings. Wow, estimate was 26 cents, and they got $1.46. That's big. That's big. Wow, that's a big play. All right, what was it at 48 and went all the way down to 63? Yeah, this thing looks good. Nice earnings. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So you have resistance here. Okay. You're probably going to break through that. Right. All these candles are bullish candles and they're solid. Okay. RSI bouncing on 50, looking good. I think this is a good long play. Yeah, it's a good long play. You're just having some trouble. Let's see. No, this is solid support area right there. Solid support area there. There's just a little gap. That's a gap. There's a gap right here. Okay, that gap is filled. Okay, next target here, 71, 80. Yeah, looks good. I think this one is a good long-term play. Good long-term play. I think for right now, it might go sideways for a little bit just to make some room. It tried to break out of the channel, failed. So now it's making some room so it could start trending up. But I think this one's a good long-term play. Good, nice swing play too. Nice swing play. All right, looks good. I approve. That one looks fine. All right. Oh, hell. Okay. Halliburton. Okay. Halliburton. All right. This one has a little hedge or wedge here. Little wedge here. Okay, it looks good though. Our size steadily holding 50. Okay. Holding that 2160 area. It's just not. It's just going sideways actually right now, and it looks good though. I mean, I don't think it goes below. I don't think it goes below 21. But I think it's going to take a little bit to go higher, unless some news comes out. But I feel like this one's kind of comfortable right here for a little bit, until it slowly grinds up here, and then makes a move. Maybe in a couple months, maybe in another month or two. But overall, looks good. I like it. It's on the weekly. Yeah, it looks really good. This looks really good for a long swing. Yeah. But yeah, it does need a little bit more time. I would say like another month before it does it. But nice squeeze. RSI right at that 50, trying to break it. This looks like a good swing. Looks like it could break out and push through higher. But I don't think it's ready just yet. But it looks good. Looks good. Targets are there. 25 and 26. Looks like a nice swing. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes, during the weekend or any other time. On the weekend, any other time to follow you or comments on ES and NASDAQ. Just the chat. That's it. The Discord. I do live every Wednesdays. All right. Intel, same thing. It's been doing just building that bull flag, big giant bull flag, holding that 20 SMA. It's just waiting to go. Okay. Don't know when it's gonna go. Don't know when it's gonna go, but it looks good. Looks good. It looks like it wants to go, but it's just kind of staying the course right here, staying right there in that 24 area. But does it look good? Looks good. Can't deny that doesn't look like a nice bull flag. It does. Okay. Okay. All right. XLE. We broke 90 slightly, right? We went over 90 and we went to 90.62, and then here we went to 90.68, and then we went 90.55, and then we dropped back to 87. Now we're bouncing back. Okay, so now we need to get back over 89.50 and get back over that 90 breakout. We held it for 2 days. The third day, decided enough. Okay, hopefully we got enough buyers this time. Our side, reset, bounced on the 50 perfectly, coming back up. Strong day today, held that 20 SMA and the 50 and the 200. Okay, we're above all the moving averages. That's good. Okay, we need to get back above that 90 and then break through that 90.70. Should just make it 91. this thing could break through 91, then it could start to make that run that we've been waiting for. Make that run back over to 95. Make that run back over to 95. Okay. It just loves hanging out. So, but we are making higher highs and higher lows. That's all that matters. So, as long as we're making higher highs and higher lows, we're going to come here, potentially make a new high. And if we can do that, we're going to start running. Okay. All right. So, yeah, it looks good though. I had a nice day today. I was questioning it because when we went to the 90 and then we came back down to 87.30 and we were below it, I was questioning. I was just like, I don't know. It's probably dead now. And then it came back strong and it held that 87.30 support and it held those moving averages and the 200-day, the most important one. So now it has it has life again. Okay. So now we wait and see. Do we break that 90? We want to break that 90. All right, SMCI. This is a channel. Okay. We're at the lower end of that channel. Out the 200 SMA. Okay. Anywhere near here and that 200, we have that 200 estimate great. Okay, RSI is coming back up towards that 50. We want to see that break that 50, of course. We got rejected today on some. We closed right at that 100 SMA, but it still looks great. It still looks great. Long calls look great. Those long calls look great. Let's see. All right, you see this area, like every time we're on the lower end of the channel, we go to the higher end. Lower end, we go to the higher end. Lower end, we go to the higher end. Right here at the lower end. Makes sense to get long it, right? We have potential at, what do we get it at? Like 40 something? I think we got it at 41 maybe, something like that. We got it yesterday, right? Got long yesterday. And we have potential to go back to 50, 57. I think that's good potential. 50% of the stop. Wait, no, I'm talking about 60. No, we're at 41. That's what, 57. It's like a 35%, okay, of the stock. But I think we could make it all the way back up to 60. 60 for real. What was our high? 66. Okay, here we hit 40, 48, and then here we hit 61. Okay, so that was there. Okay, so that was there. Okay, so there. So if we go to 56, right, that gap fill over the next couple months, maybe even by the beginning of next year, those long swings will be golden, right? Long swings will be golden. So we're at the lower end of the channel. I think it makes sense to buy long right here. Okay, because where else are you going to go? We held the 200-day just fine. The channel ends right here, so I think it's a easy buy. It's an easy buy there. Everything in squeezing for a breakout on the 4H in one day. Yep, yes, sir. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, I got everybody down. Now we can do the doubles. All right. AMD. All right, AMD dropped out of the channel. Okay, I said we were going to go to that 147.50 gap fill. Okay, we got what to 149.22 reversed. Okay, and now that's 162 level, that breakout point rejected so far. So, and the RSI is still below 50 and it hasn't got over it yet. All right, so this is the big question. Is AMD going to drop or pop? What's it going to do? Well, that 162, we need over it. And that's going to be right at that 50 SMA. So we need over that 50 SMA. Okay. We need over that 50 SMA because if it rejects here, comes back down, we will gap fill. And then that 20 SMA is going to cross over that 50 SMA. So right now, it's looking like the 20 SMA is causing resistance. So if that's true and we can't get through it, then it's going to reject us back under that 162. And you know, we're going to come back down to this 147. Okay. If we could get over that 162 and hold, okay, we'll be back above water here, and then we'll be able to hold out. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm thinking. But again, if this is act as resistance at that 162, then you know, this is gonna be resistance, and then we're coming back down here to 147.50. All right, and of course, maybe we chop around until Wednesday and figure that out, and then we drop. But you know, 162 is that big level. It's that big level. Okay. All right. All right. Meta. Okay. Meta. All right, Meta. All right, Meta's still in this channel here, the purple channel. I know there's a lot of lines here. I'll clear that out for you guys. Yep. All right. Okay. Let me get that channel back. Okay. Okay, Meta. All right. Okay, channel back. All right, Meta is inside this bullish channel still. Okay, you know, what a drop in a recovery. It's not the first or second time Meta did that, right? I'm gonna drop 4, and then went to 7, and then went back to 4, and went to 8. Crazy. All right, so on the weekly, Meta. Okay, it looks fine, right? Looks fine on the weekly. On the daily, it looks like frustration here. Okay, RSI barely holding on that 50. Okay, it looks like it wants to lose it. Lost the 20 SMA today. Okay, if it continues down and gap fills right here at 740, it means to hold that 50 SMA. Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking it looks kind of weak. You know, even though the weekly doesn't look too bad, I feel like the daily, it's looking kind of weak. Okay, let's see. All right, 760 is resistance here. Okay, and we got 720 as support. I don't know why it looks weak to me. If it gets above 760, 90, then cool. I think it could move. It could move to 773. Okay, and then possibly, if it keeps going and it has juice, 792. But if it stays below 760, and more importantly, if it stays below 755, which is the 200 SMA, it's going to go to 740. Okay. And so 755, that you want that number. Below 755 goes to 740. Okay. And if it below 740 goes to 720. It's choppy. It's really choppy. I don't but it looks weak. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks weak. It definitely looks weak. You see, this one looks strong, and then you start getting that what did I call it earlier? Those arches, those arches are bearish, right? Because they look like inverted cup and handles. Okay, they're bearish. Apple has that one. Then this one just made it today. That arch, not a fan. Okay, so if it stays below 755, or if it loses today's low 751, we're going 740, and then possibly 719. But if it gets back above 760, then you have these targets available. But I think it looks weak. Okay, I think it looks weak. All right. All right, let's see what is next. RBLX. All right, RBLX. Okay. So target is 137.50. Okay. It had earnings, it popped, and then it dropped, came back down, and now it's choppy right here. Now it's choppy right here. Okay. So here's your box, right? Here's your box. You got resistance up here. We know it's all resistance there. Okay. You have some more resistance right here. All right. So 135 and 137 resistance. RSI reset. It's holding above 50. That's good. But you need to clear this. You need to clear that 135, 137 area. Okay. And then if you do, just know that you have all this as a resistance area. All of that. So you need to clear this with a big candle. Big, strong candle. Okay. Because if you don't, it's going to be building an ascending triangle, and this is just going to be dead money for a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks until it either pops or drops. But it looks fine. It just needs to break out. Okay. All right. Let's see. Has a little bull flag there, but yeah, you need volume and you need a breakout. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. ASML. All right. ASML. resistance at that 807 area. Okay, it's rejected it quite a few times. Here, here again. Okay, looking like this is area of support 780. So bearish engulfing rejection. Probably going to come back to 780. Needs a hold there, build a bull flag, kind of cup and handle situation, and then needs a breakout. If that doesn't happen, it's coming back down. It comes back and fills this gap at 756. But most likely it chops around here at 780 for a little bit. But yeah, it looks like it still could come back down. All right. Okay, got that. Okay. Okay, hello. Okay. All right. This is okay, hello. All right, at resistance here for the downtrend, at resistance here at 750, 75.50. Our size holding above 50, that's good. Squeeze forming. Okay, it's a little triangle pattern here. So it should break out up or down within the next couple of days. Probably Friday, probably Thursday, probably going to do nothing. Friday's probably going to make a move unless it's early Monday, Tuesday. But I think it'll probably be Friday. Fridays usually are the days that things like this will make a move. It's not typically that they do it on a Monday or a Tuesday. It's more like a Wednesday or Friday is when they have these moves. So Thursdays could happen too, though. Yeah, that's what you are looking at. Okay, but that is a divergence there. There's a bearish divergence here. So just be careful there. Let's see here. Okay, it's like a bull flag on the weekly. It's a bull flag on the weekly still, but still has that divergence. Let's see here. Come on. Okay, bend down, get up. Okay, monthly has an indecision candle in this month. Okay, so it's kind of up in the air. So I would wait for that breakout. Has a squeeze on it. That breakout's coming. It's above all its moving average is good. Monthly it hits indecision candle. So whatever this month is, it's going to be. So that could be a positive or negative depending on this month's end. The weekly looks like a nice bull flag, but again, we got that bearish divergence on it. We could if we don't hold that 69, then this could drop off and come back down to 61 and 56. We could hold that. We could pop it. We could probably make it back to 81, 82. Okay, but it's not ready yet. Maybe Friday. All right. UPS, it's dead money, man. Dead money. It's dead money. I don't think it goes any lower, but I don't think it does anything right now. I think it's dead money. So if we look at it, it went from 200 all the way to 83. It's at its 52-week low. Wow, it's almost at its all-time low. So 82, and it's at 83 on the dot. So this is 82 at the dot. It's at 83 on the dot. So I don't think it goes any lower. Maybe it goes. I just don't. The action lacks both ways. So we lost this low already, right? We lost this low already, but we don't see conviction down. So that tells me it doesn't really want to drop more. It doesn't really want to drop anymore. So it's probably just going to chop around here in this area for a while. And looking at it now that 82 is like the all-time low, I understand why it doesn't really want to drop anymore. There's a dollar more. That's not gonna. It's not gonna really. Maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't, but I think it's dead money for a while. I think it just chops around here for a little bit, for a little while, maybe like a month or two, and then figures it out. And then whenever it gets back above 89, then you got something that maybe you want. But until then, it's dead money. It's not doing anything. It's not going to do anything. So if you want to get long, like a leap or something, cool. But otherwise, it's dead money, and option time decay is going to eat it up. All right, AI. All right, AI. Looking the same. Looking like dead money. Looking like dead money here. Yep, it's near its lows too. I mean, it still could probably go lower, but I don't think it will. I think it's just dead money right now. I think it's just dead money right now. Dead money. It's just gonna go sideways for a little while, and that's sometimes that's what they do. They could go sideways for a year. Sometimes they go sideways for 3 years. This clear cut UPS and AI, they want to go sideways for a little while. I'm not saying they're going to go for 3 years, but they look like they're going to go for a while. Okay. All right. So, I mean, same thing with, all right, I got into Lulu Leaps today. Now, why did I do that? Why did I get into Lulu Leaps? Well, stock was $423 once, right? Okay. All right. We see that it's just been breaking down. It was $516 once now. So, it's more than halved. Okay, let's go to the monthly here. Well, this is exactly why I got into the leaps here, because 200 SMA monthly is coming up. It is almost there. The 200 estimated monthly is 160, and it's at 163. Okay, I'd rather be early than late, right? A little bit on the 200 SMA. All right, so a couple bucks, but the leaps are leaps. So I got I think it was 250 leaps. So I think you could go by there by 2027. Yeah, I don't think Lulu's going out of business. Okay, might lose some market share because other brands are just as good as Lulu, but I don't think Lulu is still a brand that people love. So am I gonna say, oh, I think this company is gonna fail? No. Do I think it should be $516 a share? Probably not. But do I think it at least be half of that? Yeah. 250, 260? I could live with that. Okay. So, okay. So at least we could get back to 227, 228. Okay. And that 200 SMA on the monthly is going to hit and it's going to bounce. And it correlates with this support right here. Okay, so that support right there correlates exactly where it is right now. So that is why I got leaps on it, and that's why I got some longs on it. So that is my reasoning for Lulu. Okay. All right. All right. Let's check out Bitcoin here, and then we'll call it a night. All right. We've been on there for 2.5 hours. Long time. Got to feed my dogs and eat dinner myself. All right. So remember I said we have to hold that 108,800 on Bitcoin because of that cup and handle. Remember, that's the breakout point, 108. So we held it so far, and we're getting back over that 113, 114 area. Okay, so that's good indication. Is it a for sure thing right now? No, because we're still below the moving averages. We're still rejecting, 20 SMA and 50 SMA. So once we get over that 50 SMA, it'd be you can breathe a little bit. But right now, RSI is right at 50. We are right at the moving averages. We could easily reject that tomorrow, sell off. This could reject that, sell off. So you can breathe a little, but you can't really breathe that much. Once it's over that 115, 116 area, you can breathe a lot better. And the RSI will be over 50. You can breathe a lot better with the Bitcoin. But until then, that 108 is still possible. We could have an easy sell-off day, and we're right back there where we started. All right. All right, guys. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Night.